Today on All Out Brick, we've got a big one. The Ultimate Collector Series Razor Crest. We're going to build the set, review it, and then give out a score. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Christian from All Out Brick. If you're a first time viewer, welcome to our channel, and if you've seen us before, welcome back. In this video, we'll be reviewing the Ultimate Collector Series version of the Razor Crest, which was released by LEGO in October of 2022. This version marks the second iteration of the Razor Crest released by LEGO, well, third if you count the Microfighter, and comes with a hefty price tag of $600. The Razor Crest is of course the ship featured in seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian, belonging to the galactic bounty hunter Djarin. The show gives us peeks through all areas of the ship prior to its decimation in season 2, rest in peace to the crest, but now we can recreate the, dare I say, iconic ship at minifigure scale and pretend that Moff Gideon didn't blow it to smithereens. Taking a look at the packaging, this is an 18+ set, so there's nothing too fancy going on. We've got the crisp black background, a nice shot of the Razor Crest fully assembled, and there's a nice little glow in the background. It almost looks like it could be a sunset on one of the planets from The Mandalorian. In the top right, we've got the Ultimate Collector Series stamp. We've got the logo for the Razor Crest on the front of the box as well. And in the bottom left, we've got the 18+ designation, set number 75331, and 6,187 pieces. The left side of the box gives us a straight-on view of the Razor Crest from the front and the Ultimate Collector Series banner on the bottom. And then looking at the right side, it's pretty cool that now we have a back view of the Razor Crest. The ramp is down, and again, we've got the Série de Collection Supreme, I think. On the top of the box, we've got the Razor Crest logo once again, this time in French, Le Razor Crest. And then we've got looks at all 4 of the minifigures, one of which is an actual size image of the Mandalorian Djarin himself. And on the back of the box, we've got an alternate view of the Razor Crest ship. Some of the doors are open. There's a little bit lower angle. We can see the display plaque. We've got a nice diagram that shows us the different dimensions of the ship. And then at the bottom, I like what they did here with some different screen grabs from the show itself. And then right next to them are these areas of the ship in the LEGO set that we're going to be building today. These larger sets are always fun to bust open. There's normally some little Easter eggs or something included with the packaging on the inside, so let's go ahead and open this one up. Alright, here we go. I am so excited for this right now to see what's inside of this box. I'm going to use the side over here where we got the back view of the ship on the right side of the box. There's just a couple little tabs here, so we're just going to cut them real quick. There we go. Alright, let's hope we're done with the scissors here. Let's see what we got. Oh boy. Oh boy, this one is this one's cool. I'm gonna try to get this in frame. And we've got Mando and Grogu. Oh man. So this is box 1. See if I can finesse this thing out. It's pretty lodged in there, guys. There we go. It's actually not as big as I thought it was gonna be. In there, and then we take a look. We've got the Razor Crest there. Oh no way. On the back. Another view, man. Wow, these are so cool. That is so cool. All right, so that's box 1. We've got a box 2 here, which is the only other one. I thought there was actually going to be 3 based on the size of this first box, but we've got 2. So we've got a nice little concept art image of the Razor Crest. Looks so sweet. Got the logo on top, and ooh, there's some more concept art. I love it. I love that they decorated the box like this. We got Grogu walking down the ramp, and it wouldn't be a true unboxing unless we opened up the smaller ones as well. So let's start out with box 1 here. Let's see, we flip it up. 2 more tabs. Let's see inside of here. All right, got some bags. So there's just going to be a lot of bags in there. And I've got 2 packets right here. Let's go ahead, cut 1, cut 2. Oh boy, that's a lot of stickers. It's got a sticker sheet, so it looks like we got 17 stickers in this set. Kind of wish that was more printed parts. And we've got instruction booklet number 2. There's a lot of good info in there to read through, so they always do this with the Ultimate Collector sets. I can't wait to read through it. It goes about the background of the ship, the design, the different model builders, all that. So we got 2 instruction booklets in bag 1 and a lot of bags. Not going to dump them all out because that'd make a mess. And there we go, some more bags. And there is another booklet in here. And, oh, nope, there's more than that. There's actually 4 instruction manuals. Wow, there are 4 instruction manuals to this set. Wow, 36 bags, according to instruction booklet number 4. Clocking in at just under 6,200 pieces. This is going to be quite a long build, but I am pumped for it. Let's go. Here we are with the finished build. In total, it took about 13 hours, which was a little bit longer than I expected this build to be, but a lot of those small detail sections really added up. The build, of course, is going to be repetitive just due to the fact that the ship is mirrored, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a boring build. Each section is very different from one another, so every few bags you're getting something completely different and it keeps it fresh. Unsurprisingly, the ship is absolutely beautiful. The studs that are still visible don't really grab your attention while looking at the model, and it begins to transcend looking like a Lego model and starts to just look like a replica display model. Some people may think of that as a bad thing, and I understand that point of view. Some people want their Lego models to look entirely like Lego, but in this case, I really don't mind the near studless look. It's not like it has as few studs as Djarin's crest mock. A technique that I'm a big fan of is using a lot of smaller tiled pieces to create this larger panel look throughout different sections of the ship. It gives the ship a better sense of scale and makes it feel larger overall, while making the smaller details feel even more intricate. One of the most significant parts of the Razor Crest is its angular geometry. This is one of those make or break elements to the ship that the designers really had to nail in my mind. Well, they did just that. The use of various hinges, ball joints, and slopes replicate the ship perfectly. Sure, there may be some small gaps in some areas, but to me, they're only apparent if you really look for them. I was truly blown away during the build at how some of these sections came together. Now, the most significant part of the Razor Crest, at least to me, are the engines. This is the one thing that stands out to me the most about the Razor Crest, and if they mess this up, it would have ruined the set for me. But the construction we get here is near perfect. The transition from the main body to these engines is great, and the level of detail in this part of the build surprised me. Not necessarily the detail we see on the outside, but more so the design behind it that results in a lot of different sized rings around the engines. While the chain links were tedious to put together, they took me back to my K'NEX roller coaster days and provide excellent detail all the way around the engines. When it comes to minifigures for this set, we don't get a ton or overloaded by them, but we certainly get enough to really feel satisfied with a set of this scale. Starting off with Djarin, otherwise known as the Mandalorian, this is a rendition of the early Season 1 Mando before he fights the Mudhorn by the color of his armor. There's a pretty high level of detail on the torso and leg printing, which is expected, but the included arm printing makes this figure exclusive to the set. The arm printing details the shoulder pads and the wrist gauntlets sported by the bounty hunter. The helmet is also brand new for the set, but it doesn't quite satisfy me. I would have wanted LEGO to go with a chrome helmet here. The pearl dark gray doesn't quite feel reflective enough or light enough to me. Beneath the helmet is a single-sided head print, which can be paired with a reddish-brown hairpiece. These are both nice inclusions, but I don't ever see myself displaying the set without the helmet on. This is the way. Moving on to Grogu, the Grogu figure included with this set isn't any different than the ones found in other sets, and I'm fine with that. They killed the original design for this little guy. I don't know what else I'd want. Grogu's pram is included in this set and has a clear base to make it seem like it's levitating above the ground. Grogu just snaps on in and his head sticks up. The size restriction is an obvious obstacle, but I wish we could have gotten the doors which open and close throughout the series, but again, given the size restrictions, that would have been tough to pull off. Now comes the only disappointment with these minifigures, and that's the Mythrol. The torso printing is nice and original, but that's where the positives end. LEGO went with a classic minifigure head rather than a molded head, which just does not make sense to me. The printing does a decent job of bringing the character to life, but nothing compared to the possibility of this set having an exclusive mold. It's mind-boggling to me because we get other exclusive molds to be seen later on, and with sets such as the Mos Eisley Cantina, there were many exclusive molds for a single set, so I don't want excuses, LEGO. The Mythrol features a pair of handcuffs to replicate Season 1's opening, where Mando captures him as a bounty. More to come with this later. The final minifigure in this set is Kuiil, the friendly Ugonaut, who has a head mold exclusive to this set. Now, the head mold isn't perfect, I think it's a little bit too tall and droopy, but this is an eternity better than if they were to go with a minifigure head. The torso printing does a great job of showing off the neck scarf and belt, but it's a shame that the back is covered up with a backpack. I get the addition because he has one on the show, but we cover up a great back with plain reddish brown plates. This set also features a brick-built Blurrg model for Kuiil to sit in. This really rounds out the Season 1, Episode 1 and 2 look that they went for with these figures. The figures can all be lined up on a sleek display base, where we can also find a display plaque for the Razor Crest. There's not much information about the ship, that part is a little disappointing, but every single UCS set needs one of these. There's a few different features I need to go over with the UCS Razor Crest. The first that I want to touch on is the modular layout of the ship. All of the top sections can be removed to expose the interior elements of the ship. Recently, LEGO has been including a lot more interior details with their larger sets, and I'm all here for it. I got back into LEGO in late 2013, and back then, the UCS sets were really minimal in terms of their interior detail and were focused on just being display models. Removing the top sections is very easy, and there's very little worry about them falling apart as they're only secured by a few studs. Once removing, you can see all of the interior sections. The main hall has some details such as a stand for Boba Fett's armor, carbonite chambers, which can hold the Mythrol or any other galactic goon's prisoner, a weapons closet, and a ladder up to the cockpit. The cockpit itself includes plenty of space to sit up to 3 passengers. General printed parts run along the perimeter. The back area of the cockpit contains enough space to store Grogu's pram. There's even a little Easter egg to Season 2, Episode 2, where Grogu commits several counts of murder as he eats the frog lady's eggs. Towards the front of the ship, there's these side doors that can open up, and they're so flush that you can almost forget about them. The hinge is a little bit wonky to me in that they don't fully close up when you fold the doors back in place. There were a few times I accidentally broke the hinge plate off because naturally I want to close it all the way, but these were just done so well in the terms of how well they blend in and that you can open them up. Sliding on over to the back ramp, there's a great amount of friction that keeps the back door up while it's folded in, but this means it's a little rigid when trying to open it up. I was pretty nervous the first time that I swung it down because you have to push harder than you would think you'd have to, but it's all fine. There's enough room here to unload and load the Blurrg as well as any minifigs. Immediately, I want to just stick Grogu on the ramp and recreate one of the scenes from The Mandalorian, where Grogu is dwarfed even more by the size of the crest. On the top of the ship, there's a neat little escape pod function. The front can easily be removed and you can slide a minifigure in place. I may be wrong about this, but I can't recall any scenes where this was used prior to Moff Gideon blasting the ship into oblivion. As a whole, there's not much more that could make this Razor Crest rendition much better. Any of the issues I seem to really be focused on the minifigures and not with the ship itself. One general thing that I guess is more of a hope for future sets as well as this one is for LEGO to start including some actual display stands so we don't have to rely on things such as the landing gears to display the model. With larger sets such as this one, it's tough to find display areas with enough surface area to support the whole model. If we started getting brick-built stands with sets again, they would become a lot easier to display rather than using up table space so all 3 landing gears can sit down. I know there's custom options out there, but let's be real. LEGO should be including these types of stands with their premier sets. The only other issue I have with this set that really nags on me is the lack of printed parts. I understand that stickers are going to be necessary to a degree, but there were a lot of stickers in the set. I just think those should be phased out more than they were with the Razor Crest when it comes to these more expensive sets. As a fan of The Mandalorian and Star Wars in general, sets such as this one are a huge draw for me, and I think they knocked this one out of the park. Their ability to recreate the overall geometry of the ship to a T and include fine details without sacrificing stability is quite impressive. If you want to get this set for yourself, you do need to be willing to open up your wallet a little bit. It currently retails for a price of $600 US, which puts it as the third most expensive Star Wars set and the fifth most expensive LEGO set in general that's currently available. Personally, I don't think this is a bad price at all. If you were to create this as a mock, it would easily surpass that $600 mark. That being said, it's still a lot of money to spend on a LEGO set, so don't go impulsively buying it if it stretches your budget. It's worth it, but not so if you're required to rework your entire budget just to get it. In terms of a score, I'm going to give the UCS Razor Crest a whopping 8/9, which puts it as one of the highest rated sets we've done so far. This is an amazing set, and they chose a great vehicle to make such a large set out of. It's a very unique vehicle and certainly catches your eye when looking at a collection or a room. The only things holding this set back from the Holy Grail 9 and above range are some slight compromises with the minifigures and the quantity of stickers. Those elements aside, I absolutely love the Ultimate Collector Series Razor Crest, and despite the ship being blown into smithereens, it gets me even more juiced for Mando Season 3. So there you have it, 8/9, that's your review. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to be the first to see all of our future content. Also be sure to check us out on our website and on our social media pages. Until next time, stay bricking.